Hello and a warm welcome to Nationwide on the NTA. I am Ifoma Ojintan. Remember, you can follow this news live on our websites, nta.ng/live, and other social media handles displayed on the screen. The Ministry of Finance Incorporated has been launched in furtherance of landmark reform initiatives of the federal government aimed at enhancing the nation's economic fortunes and sustainable growth and development. President Muhammadu Buhari, who performed the ceremony, tasked the board of directors and management to grow the entity's assets under management from the current value of 18 trillion naira to at least 100 trillion naira in the next 10 years. State House correspondent the Musambo has the details.
Although established 64 years ago, this is the very first time the Ministry of Finance Incorporated MOFI has been formally restructured and repositioned to operate in accordance with global best practices as a world-class asset and investment management organization.
It is also the firm belief of Mr. President that all government assets must be known and they must be used to generate cash flows that will contribute to improve government revenues and contribute to the social and economic development of our country.
Apart from the launch of the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, President Buhari also inaugurated its governing council with him as chairman. Former Minister of Finance Dr. Shamsuddin Usman heads the board of directors, while Dr. Armstrong Takang is the managing director and chief executive officer.
I expect you to work with other NDAs to create a consolidated national asset register with a view to converting these assets into cash flow generating entities to support the government's revenue drive, and D, partner with government with a view to using government-owned investments and assets to support the government in delivering on its social and economic obligations to the citizenry.
MOFI is also expected to be the clearinghouse for the management of federal government investments and assets, with a view to ensuring that such investments are delivering superior risk-adjusted returns to the government. The president described as unacceptable that MOFI's peers in other climes have gone on to make major social and economic impacts in their respective nations, with many of them, like that of Singapore, already becoming global brands investing domestically and internationally. He therefore insists that MOFI must, in delivering on its mandate, live up to the nation's expectations as a trusted custodian and manager of the investments and assets of the federal government.
Provide visibility over what the federal government of Nigeria owns by creating and managing a national asset register. Take steps to unlock liquidity from federal government of Nigeria's idle assets, mobilizing capital and investing the capital in opportunities that are strategic to the nation's social and economic development plan. I hereby direct the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planner to commence the process of amending the MOFI Act and other relevant legislation to further institutionalize this reform.
And as the Buhari presidency remains committed to transparency and accountability, Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed is optimistic that the launch of MOFI marks the beginning of a new era, and at the end of its tenure, the deserved change promised Nigerians would have been delivered. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Senate is considering a bill that seeks to provide a holistic national strategy for the treatment of cancer as a serious national agenda. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that the bill, which has passed second reading, has received inputs from members of the public.
Data from the World Health Organization shows that cancer is responsible for 7.8 million deaths globally, with 72% of such deaths occurring in developing nations such as Nigeria. The absence of data on the ailment in order to determine accurate statistics of persons affected to ensure effective treatment in Nigeria has further exacerbated the situation. The establishment of a National Center for Cancer Treatment has become urgent. This public hearing convened by the Senate Committee on Health provided another platform for a review of the health challenges posed by late diagnosis and management of the ailment.
The National Center for Cancer seeks to provide research in prevention, treatment, and care in cancer, assist and make recommendations to the government about policies and programs to control the cancer.
The cause of death in the entire world. What are they? Hypertension, diabetes, stroke, cancer, chronic kidney disease, asthma, arthritis, ulcer. These are the gamut of diseases. For sustainability, for us to look inwards.
Importance of developing general hospital is critical in this regard, and we are lucky that we just received a very generous grant of Global Fund, which again we are applying for them to allow us to strengthen our health system.
6 other health institutions establishment bills were also presented to the public for inputs. The regulation of in vitro fertilization, Federal Nephrology and Kidney Research and Treatment Center, Hadeja, Federal Medical Center, Okigwe, and Nigerian Medical Research Council.
One patient with kidney disease requires a multidisciplinary approach that will take at least nephrologists, endocrinologists, hematologists, gastroenterologists, psychiatrists, dermatologists, neurologists, and urologists to manage.
Your inputs are most definitely going to enrich our understanding and help the quality of the Senate decision.
The Federal Orthopedic Hospital, Ugbo, and the Federal Medical Center, Uli, establishment bills, all in Anambra State, were also subjected to public hearing. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Massive reconstruction works on more roads and highways are set to commence as the NNPC tax credit scheme puts up more than 1 trillion naira for the second phase of the initiative. Abdullahi Mohammed reports that the commencement of the second phase was announced during a meeting of contractors and the Minister of Works and Housing in Abuja.
Contractors, road users, the NNPC, Federal Inland Revenue Service, and the Ministry of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola. First, a review of the impact of the first phase of the NNPC tax credit scheme.
As stakeholders,
21 roads spreading out hundreds of kilometers already filling the poles of the scheme. Now the second phase coming in with a bigger pulse.
We are working on the major arteries of Nigeria now, the A1 to A4 that go from all the 4 ports to the north, and the A5 to A9 that cross across east and west. So that is the place where we have had some problems, and I'm very proud to say now that we have covered essentially the major grid arterial routes of Nigeria. So when we solve this on the A1 to the A9, you will have substantially very good motorability. Member Brass, of course, he has also mentioned a very important role, and the dualization. Now we're working on Zaria Funtua, but we are now taking it all the way to Sokoto, and we are going to dualize it. I see also the East-West Road, which has been in the news for some time. It was badly devastated by the flooding, so we've awarded it, but now this is the funding security.
So on our part, we commit to make funds available.
I'll continue to appeal to Nigerians, and particularly the big taxpayers, to continue to trust this Executive 007, order 007, so that we continue to provide critical infrastructure.
The NNPC tax credit scheme began on the heels of the declaration of Order 007 by President Anambra. In Abuja, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
The Union is committing additional €20 million to ongoing de-radicalization and reintegration program in the Northeast. Head of Cooperation, European Union, Ruben Alba, announced this at the National Session on Amnesty, De-radicalization and Reintegration Program in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has the details.
Nigeria has witnessed different security challenges, ranging from militancy in the Niger Delta to Boko Haram in the Northeast. Records show that military and other security operations have suppressed this threats to a near zero level. To sustain these feats, the federal government is adopting a mix of both kinetic and non-kinetic solutions.
The non-kinetic approach has scaled down the potential for revenge, hate, and reprisal and foster reconciliation. Just in June 2022, the Office of the National Security Advisor launched a monitoring and evaluation strategy to further strengthen the implementation of the policy framework and national action plan on preventing and countering violence extremism.
The federal government's amnesty program, established in 2009 for ex-agitators in the Niger Delta, an Operation Safe Corridor for insurgents who have given up arms, are fraught with challenges.
Amnesty and de-radicalization efforts must be coupled with community-based reintegration programs that provide former extremists with the support and resources they need to rebuild their lives and reintegrate into the society.
So, there's a need to expedite action on the program to curb the rate at which people take to arms.
The EU has committed an additional €20 million for our next program and activities related to DDR in the Northeast.
The program is also aimed at deepening the de-radicalization policy in the country. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The government of Bauchi State has promised to put in place stronger measures for safekeep and handling of explosive devices used by construction and quarry workers in the state. This is coming in the wake of Saturday's explosion in Azare, the headquarters of Katagum local government area. Mahmoud Mohammed reports.
This is the site of Saturday's explosion in Azare, and Governor Bala Muhammad is here for an on-spot assessment. Although no casualty, authorities say the explosion occurred at a warehouse of a construction company where dynamites were kept.
There was a problem of some people who were burning bushes around, and the heat detonated one of the dynamites. They were not meant for Boko Haram.
Discussing with the residents whose houses were affected, their vehicles are affected, to show empathy and sympathy and to explain to them so that they don't become paranoid about it, and then of course the fear, the suspense. And, they were very happy, including His Royal Highness the Emir was there.
Governor Bala Muhammad was also at the Federal Medical Center, Azare, to sympathize with victims shot by armed robbers in Zaki local government. The governor and his entourage also visited the Emir of Katagum and the district head of Zaki over the unfortunate events. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Muhammad, NTA News.
Benue State's Governor Samuel Otom has advocated the need to educate people of the state more on the importance of speaking out when sexually assaulted. The governor said this during the inauguration and domestication of Sexual Assault Referral Center at the Benue State University Teaching Hospital, Makurdi. Charles Abba has more.
A number of people, especially female teens, have continued to suffer sexual assaults which they hardly voice out. Inauguration and domestication of the Sexual Assault Referral Center at the Benue State University Teaching Hospital, Makurdi, is partly a succor to the victims. Governor Samuel Otom, who reiterated his commitment to the welfare of the people in areas of health, education and others, stated that the center will be of help to victims of rape and those sexually assaulted.
So it's an evil that we must fight. And I want to say that I fully support my wife and all of you to stand to defend womanhood in order to get out of it. I want to employ all of us, work together and ensure the success of this program.
The Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Professor Telomon Swende, appreciated the wife of the governor, Dr. Eunice Otom, who initiated the center and described it as the first of its kind in Benue State. Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Dr. Joseph Ngbea, commended the First Lady, Dr. Eunice Otom, for her tireless efforts towards achieving the center, which he said will provide emergency care for victims of gender-based violence. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
It's now time to join Hingino in Lagos for more stories on Nationwide. Hello, Hingino.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says about 6.6 million permanent voter cards have been distributed to prospective voters in the state out of the 7.6 million cards received between the year 2011 and 2023. Resident Electoral Commissioner Shegun Agbaje stated this at a stakeholders meeting with traditional rulers as part of preparations for the 2023 general elections. Abolade Salami reports.
As the 2023 general elections draw nearer, the electoral umpire INEC is engaging with relevant stakeholders to map out areas of concerns with a view to suggest possible ways to address causes of electoral violence before they arise.
We have to work together.
The Commission, in a bid to ensure a conducive electoral environment for an all-inclusive participation, says technologies such as the INEC Voter Enrollment Device, IVAD, and bimodal voter accreditation system BVAS have been introduced to improve credibility of elections in the country, emphasizing the key role traditional rulers play in promoting peaceful coexistence in the country. INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner made a passionate appeal to custodians of tradition to, as a matter of importance, prevail on their subjects to shun any form of violence during elections.
We cannot afford to have another violence in Lagos State. We have had enough of violence in Lagos State. That is why we have called this meeting, to plead with our royal fathers that you have a duty, you have an obligation to make sure that nobody in Lagos State loses his blood because of this election.
The royal fathers, in their pursuit for peaceful electoral process, pledged support to a violence-free process.
We of us in Lagos State, we are distancing ourselves from violence. We did not encourage it. I can vouch for that. You will never see us. So we want to take the election in a very social way.
The electoral umpire, INEC, reassured the traditional rulers of the Commission's resolve to conduct a free, fair, and credible 2023 polls. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Away from electoral matters now, despite being the commercial nerve center of Nigeria, Lagos State has benefited immensely from the infrastructural development rigorously pursued by the present administration, and the indications, as testified by residents, is that the projects are changing socio-economic landscape of the metropolitan city. Michael Olale completes the report.
From the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway down to the rail corridor on same axis are touches of excellence targeted at upscaling the state of infrastructure. This effort seems to be deliberate, considering the huge contribution of Lagos to national economy. But for the ones completed, like the 156-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan standard gaugeway line, the testimonies keep reoccurring even after 2 years of inauguration by the president.
It has assisted a lot to save us from stress and traffic.
The prospect of freighting cargoes along the corridor is promising, which will possibly reduce congestion at the Apapa ports. While the feasibility of this noble initiative depends largely on fully accessing the port through rail, the reconstruction of the Apapa-Oshodi-Oroshoki Expressway is an alternative provided by the present administration for seamless cargo evacuation.
It's total for us and everything is smoothly. We are going smoothly, no problem on the road.
Of topmost importance is the construction of a new terminal at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, expected to handle 14 million passengers per annum. The ultra-modern building, designed in line with global standard, is reducing passengers' waiting time. In fact, The construction is coming more than 40 years after the old terminal was built.
The environment is conducive. At least my kids can run up and down, place their hands on their floor, and I'm not scared. Or like the old terminal, like, oh, don't touch the floor, don't do this.
The excitement derived from the infrastructural development of President Muhammadu Buhari is endless, as the Deep Blue platform has not only pulled down maritime offences on Nigerian waterways to zero, but there is a sense of ease from investors. Still basking in that euphoria, the maritime industry also witnessed the approval for the disbursement of the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund.
We are going to develop an action plan. The action plan will come with deliverables, timelines, key performance indicators, and other things like that.
Completion and inauguration of the Lekki Deep Sea Port, another joint venture of the present administration with the private sector, is a game changer.
We have a deep sea port that can save the largest in the world and is going to boost our economy within the sub-region.
With this array of developmental projects, it is visible that President Muhammadu Buhari has changed the infrastructural narrative of the country than it met it more than 7 years ago. In Lagos, Michael Alaleye, NTA News.
That's it from here. Time now for a break. Nationwide, we'll be back shortly.
You're welcome back. Now, the Anambra State Police Command has reinforced security in the state following attack on INEC office in Ojoto, Idemili South local government area and Nobi Police Station. In a statement issued by the command's public relations officer, Deputy Superintendent of Police, Mr. Ikenga Tochukwu, the hoodlums came in their numbers at about 1:45 a.m. Tuesday with 4 unmarked Sienna vehicles armed with IEDs, petrol bombs and other explosives. They invaded the INEC office, the police station and residential building in the station. The statement adds that a boy aged 16 years, relative of a serving policeman, was killed by the armed men, while another female aged 15 sustained a gunshot injury. She's presently receiving treatment. Let's talk politics now. The APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu has promised to develop the potential in Anambra State towards making the state an economic hub through industrialization. Tinubu gave the assurance at the APC presidential rally in Awka, Anambra State. Musbaud and Wahab reports that the ruling party's presidential campaign train also had a stop in Calabar, Cross River State.
It was another significant rally for the Tinubu Shetima campaign train, one apparently intended to make a statement of wide acceptance. It was in the home of one of the popular contestants, but APC says it is also popular here with a turnout of the Alex Ekweme Square.
Our candidate is indisputably the best out of them all. He's a product to be proud of anywhere, and we're proud of him. We will industrialize and make Anambra one of the economic city and economic centers of Nigeria. The way we tame Atlantic Ocean, it is the same we will tame the erosion around the entire eastern region.
The campaign train then moved to Calabar, where APC and its supporters showcased a political carnival. APC loyalists made their presence felt at the UJ Esuene Stadium while receiving their presidential candidate's team. They expressed conviction over the sincerity and competence of the APC presidential candidates, but made two requests as projected by Governor Ben Ayade.
Cross-Riverers want to see Bakassi Deep Sea Port, and they want to see the superhighway connecting the southern part of Nigeria to the eastern part of North. This state will become the wonder of tourism, a big money maker.
For the first time, APC is looking forward to a transition to another APC administration in the state with Senator Basil on the ballot.
APC!
From Calabar, Musbau, and Wahab, NTA News.
Presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, says if he is given the mandate, his administration will initiate far-reaching strategies for the resuscitation of the country's industrial sector. The former vice president was speaking to a crowd of supporters at the Jigawa Memorial Stadium, Sokoto State, in continuation of his tour of the country to solicit for support. Correspondent Onotu Yakubu reports.
Atiku Abubakar's entry at the venue of his presidential campaign after seeking royal blessings from the Sultanate Council and interfacing with stakeholders. Director General of the campaign and Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, led the team to convince Sokoto supporters to accept the candidacy of Atiku Abubakar.
He has the experience, he has the character, he has the capacity, he has the competence, and by the grace of God, he shall deliver on all of his promises.
To make sure he has unified this country, he has what it takes to take the youths back, to have what to eat.
If you support us at the state level, we promise you that we will continue with the legacies of Right Honorable Aminu Waziri Tambuwal. We will not only continue with that, but we will improve on that.
Then, the presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, mounted the podium, expressing the confidence that he has in the people's support. He restated his commitment to addressing the challenges in the nation's security and education, as well as ensure that agriculture is boosted to strengthen the economy of Sokoto State.
We intend to put more boots on the ground, equip our men, and also work with the state government to see who will have state police.
He loves our nation, and God has chosen him for a time such as this to deliver Nigeria.
While noting that small businesses must play a role in the nation's economic recovery, Atiku Abubakar assured that his administration, if elected, will provide critical infrastructure by rehabilitating the federal roads connecting Sokoto, Gusau to Zaria. From Sokoto State, Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi was in Jigawa State to canvass for support in continuation of his nationwide campaign ahead of the forthcoming general elections. The Labour Party candidate says if elected, he will transform the nation's economy, improve security, job creation and agriculture. Hawa Haliru reports.
The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, while in Dutse, the Jigawa state capital, met with leaders of various unions, stakeholders from different fields of endeavor, where he seek for their support and cooperation to ensure victory in the forthcoming elections. The presidential candidate assured that if elected, he will tackle the socio-economic challenges bedeviling the country.
Nigeria where there will be job as we move Nigeria from consumption to poverty. Nigeria where there will be school. Nigeria will be hope. Nigeria where your border will be open. That is Nigeria we are offering you.
The presidential running mate, Dr. Baba Ahmed, National Party chairman and other stakeholders of the party expressed their happiness over the warm reception from people of the state and urged them to show similar commitment on the election day.
My greatest happiness today is that I believe that the people of Jigawa State is ready to take their destiny in their hands.
Highlight of the event was presentation of the new Labour Party gubernatorial candidate in Jigawa State and other decampees that recently joined the party. Hawa Halera Haruna, NTA News.
The leadership of the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, has enjoined Nigerians to vote for the party in the forthcoming general elections, promising that dividends of democracy will cascade to the grassroots. Muhammad Ali reports.
The NNPP campaign train was in Oyo State, considered by many as the center of the southwestern politics. The New Nigeria People's Party flagged off its campaign in the zone ahead of the 25th Presidential and National Assembly election. Better education, healthcare services, security of lives and property are actualities being promised by the stalwarts of the party if they get the nod come February 2015. Another issue brought to the fore at the campaign was local government autonomy. For more attention to that tier of government to ensure true connection with the people.
We want to have a Nigeria where each and every one of us will be proud of. We want a Nigeria where there is justice, equity and fairness. We want a Nigeria where each and every child can aspire to go to the highest level in this country. We want Nigeria where all of us in the country and even those in diaspora will be proud of us, will be proud of this country.
We are going to mop up 20 million out-of-school children in 4 years. We are going to build 500,000 classrooms. We are going to empower teachers. We will ensure farmers will have what they need to cultivate. We will move to what we call shifting cultivation.
The presidential candidate asked the party supporters to present their voters' card to truly be relevant on election day. Flags were presented to 3 governorship candidates as well as National Assembly candidates at the event. Muhammad Ali, NTA News.
The Muslim Lawyers Association of Nigeria FCT branch says free, fair and credible election in Nigeria is possible with the new Electoral Act in place. This dominated discussion at a public lecture in honor of its members elevated to the rank of senior advocates of Nigeria in Abuja. Abdullahi Ajia reports.
Senior and junior legal luminaries under the auspices of the Muslim Lawyers Association of Nigeria are concerned about issues in the polity, particularly election matters, with a thematic focus on the 2023 general elections.
Should be avoiding all those things that the Act, that is to say, the Electoral Act 2022 forbids.
And we have a situation whereby the accreditation by the viewers is less than the real votes returned.
See our way out of election petitions travel, so that we can grow the body of our laws. Look at our courts now. It's all about pre-election matter.
We decide to make the celebration a knowledge-based celebration that we impact on yet the knowledge of our members.
We need to do something that affects society as its contemporary.
Former Bauchi State Governor Muhammad Abdullahi Abubakar was among those honored, having attained the rank of SAN as well as contributing to the law profession in the country.
It is by God's grace that we are here today celebrating my colleagues and myself.
The legal experts urge relevant institutions to work in synergy towards ensuring an acceptable 2023 polls that will birth credible leaders. In Abuja, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
NTA has hosted the coalition of Nigerian Muslim women who came calling at the authorities' headquarters. The national television again restates commitment towards the promotion of diverse interests for national peace and cohesion. Tokwe Alabi reports.
Nigeria's journey to nationhood at different stages had hatched a new page for Renaissance, and religion is at the front burner in shaping human opinions and thoughts. And the coalition of Nigerian Muslim women says the dictates of every female Muslim as sanctioned by Islam is paramount and should be respected and promoted by stakeholders.
We call on you to see our hijab as an enabler, not an inhibitor. We are saying we are okay. We symbolize nothing but good. And it's in the common palace that says, dress the way you want to be addressed. We plead to the world to address us the way we are addressed. They should treat it with respect and understanding. as a tool and a vehicle for inclusiveness.
The Director General, NTA, Saliu Abdulhamid Dembos, represented by General Manager, NTA News 24, Fatima Abbas Hassan, commended the coalition and promised to offer a platform for projecting its objectives.
I'd like to pledge our continued support in this regard. We'll continue to create awareness so that more people will know that they have a conducive environment to dress the way they want to dress.
The organization also planned to fully engage the NTA to participate in its 2023 hijab celebration. In Abuja, Tokpe Alabi, NTA News.
And more on electoral matters. Much is riding on the 2023 general elections as political actors are mobilizing the electorate ahead of the polls and security. The African Democratic Congress governorship candidates Bishop Sunday Undokwa Onwaha is tasking security agencies to beef up security, especially in the southeast.
Current election, people must feel comfortable. People must be happy that they voted. Their votes were counted. On the part of the security agencies must show that they are independent and they are political, so that an average Nigerian who is going to cast his vote will know that he's protected.
Speaking at a media briefing in Abuja, Bishop Onwaha urges all political leaders in the country to stay focused on nation building and uphold the ultimate objective of promoting Nigeria's national interest at all times. Meanwhile, the support of the ADC governorship candidacy in Ogun State cuts across party line. This was the comment of the ADC governorship candidate B. Otegbeye at the palace of the Alake of Ebaland Oba Aremu Gbadebo, where he received royal blessings just before addressing supporters of the party. The governorship candidate promised to bring more development to the state. Former governor of Ogun State and APC stalwart Ibikunle Amoson was also present at the flag-off campaign. He promises unflinching support to the governorship candidates. However, he reiterated commitment towards the success of the APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2023 presidential elections. To other news now, the third annual Women Peace and Security Forum, organized by the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs in collaboration with UN Women and other partners, is ongoing in Abuja. Ngozi Technical reports that aside the unveiling of the SGBV prevention application, the forum seeks to explore synergy between female security personnel to ensure a violence-free general elections in Nigeria.
Of Women Affairs, Pauline Tarlin, is tasking all female security personnel in the country to work hard to make the 2023 general elections safe and peaceful for all citizenry, especially the vulnerable, such as the aged, pregnant or lactating mothers, as well as women living with disability.
You can see the commitment of women if they are traced and they are determined to cast their vote for the person of their choice. Come what may, they will always make that effort. So when a woman, such women are in labor, and they should quickly be given the opportunity to cast their vote and get back. This is just a sound warning, a reminder that we must support the vulnerable women in our midst. The need for the security institutions to collaborate with INEC, civil society organizations, UN agencies, development partners, and the media, amongst others, to prevent violence against women is critical.
Prior to the technical session of the forum, a well-developed app for reporting, protecting female students against sex and gender-based violence by the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps was launched to the public.
Apart from advocacy, deployment of kinetic approach to certain actions that happen in society, using the female to do that.
The Women, Peace and Security Forum was established in 2020 to mitigate electoral violence against women and children by the security sector. Ngozi Technical, NTA News.
Jos is next on our lineup, and Felicia is our guide. Hello, Felicia.
Welcome to Jos. To boost human capital development, Governor Simon Bako Lalong has offered automatic employment to 16 first-class graduating students of Plateau State University Bokos. This was at a combined convocation of the institution. Ndeyang and Deabagang reports that the governor inaugurated TED Fund intervention projects in the university.
While inaugurating some of the projects, which include Advancement Office Complex, School of Postgraduate Studies, and Faculty of Agriculture, which houses offices, lecture rooms, and laboratories, Governor Simon Lalong appreciates TED Fund for the close attention given to the State University in terms of fiscal infrastructure and others, which he says has led to the establishment of additional 4 new faculties. The governor, who expresses delight at the tremendous growth being recorded in the institution, restates his administration's determination to continue to deploy available resources to promote effective teaching, learning, and research.
The times and seasons where we are in today call for thinking out of the box and taking bold steps by engaging innovations and entrepreneurial endeavors.
Vice Chancellor, Plateau State University Bokos, Professor Johanna Izam, and Pro-Chancellor of the institution, Monsignor Francis Obiora Ike, commend the government for investing huge human and capital resources towards the advancement of the university.
We thank the governor, the proprietor of the university, and other funding partners for demonstrating their commitment to the success and growth of this institution.
For their excellent academic performance, Governor Lalong offered the 16 best graduating students of the university automatic employment into the state workforce. In Jos, Ndenyan, and Deabagang, NTA News.
As part of efforts to bridge infrastructure gaps in tertiary institutions across the country, more institutions have taken over completed internal road network constructed by the federal government. The latest is the University of Jos, which benefited from government intervention. Ndeyang Adeabagang again has details.
This internal road within the University of Jos has been in deplorable condition for several years, hampering smooth vehicular and pedestrian movement of the university community. The university is now heaving a sigh of relief with the federal government's intervention of internal roads within tertiary institutions. The 2-kilometer emergency repairs was undertaken by the Federal Ministry of Works.
So with the recent development that the road has been cut, now to the glory of God, the road is very smooth.
There were a series of potholes, and it's so uncomfortable for the motorists driving around the school. But for now, the road is okay. It's in good condition.
The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, representative, says infrastructure gap is steadily being breached by the federal government.
Now we are intervening at Federal College of Education Pension 2. So the rehabilitation there is almost completed. And I hope that very soon too, we are also expecting more projects around.
The Vice Chancellor, University of Jos, Professor Tanko Ishaya, representative, says there is a correlation between infrastructure development and education.
With what you have here is going to ease vehicular movement, and then lateness for classes will be reduced.
So far, the federal government has intervened in 83 internal road projects across various tertiary institutions. 64 have been completed, while 19 are ongoing in the country. In Jos, Ndenyan and Abuja, NTA News.
And from Jos, we move to Port Harcourt, where Jenny is standing by, but after this break.
Welcome to Port Harcourt. The efforts of the River State government towards addressing persistent traffic congestion in the state is yielding positive results as the ongoing flyover projects initiated by the state government have reached an advanced stage. Yanikumo Ololo reports that residents of the state have expressed satisfaction with the level of work done, stressing that it will have positive impact on the lives of the people.
junction by work is in progress. Motorists and other road users are applauding the government for the speed at which the work is being carried out. Already, the pillars have been mounted and the beams have been crossed.
We are really happy. What I see, I believe at the end of February, this road will be free for us to make use of it.
But what I've seen so far in Port Harcourt, I give Mike kudos for what he's doing.
The work is going on. The people are very, very serious. In no distant time, I hope the flyover will be set. It will be ready.
The flyover project is on course and it is expected that the project will be completed within stipulated time.
Port Harcourt generally is known for traffic congestion. So with the flyover, especially in this very area, it will be easy for vehicles to be going freely and a lot of man hours will be saved.
When completed, it will help to remove impediments to smooth vehicular traffic. In Port Harcourt, Danukume Ulolu, NTA News.
With the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, again giving 1 week extension for the collection of PVCs, it is expected that eligible voters will capitalize on the extension to collect their PVCs before the 2023 general elections. Ode Olenyo captured reaction of the people at different location centers in Abuja local government area. And now reports.
Most of the INEC offices are witnessing low turnout, though those who spoke with NTA News lamented time wasted at the centers without getting their PVC.
I am here to collect my new voter's card because they have gone them inside almost 6 times. I'm going there's no cinema, that's why I decided to come today. Come and look for my card today. So they have already said that there is no card.
No, I have not collected. I have not seen. They said it's not. I have checked in the system. When I brought and registered in April last year. Are you coming or you are sending it? Now they are saying that the name is not found anywhere during the quarantine.
Some other respondents thank INEC for the extension of deadline for collection of PVCs and are hopeful that at the end of the exercise, more eligible voters may have collected their permanent voter cards.
I'm here to collect my PVC. That's permanent voter card. There was an error in my polling unit. They have corrected it. That is why there have not been any issues because the INEC officials are doing their best. There are some covers attached to assist them.
Other respondents commended INEC for the decentralization of the PVC collection centers to the polling units at ward level.
Normally, convert INEC to move word to word to give. So we are doing it so they can show. Come on here. Almost all the PVC we have collected.
In Abuja, NTA News.
And that's it from Port Harcourt. It's back to you in Abuja.
Thank you, Jenny. Now, Registrar of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB, Professor Ishak Oloyede, has visited some computer-based test centers in Ilori, Kwara State to ascertain their compliance with the rules and regulations of JAMB registration. In the process, a CBT center was suspended in the metropolis. Raliat Ibrahim has the report.
The inspection of computer-based test CBT centers is in preparation ahead of the 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME). At a CBT center in Olonshogo area of Ilorin, it was discovered that prospective candidates were being registered with only one camera instead of multiple cameras. Until this is addressed, the center is banned from further registration.
So this is how you mix people up and let them up. This was done by well, what are you saying? Does it make sense? Sorry to say. I could see what you are doing and I told you that this is what is likely to happen. I didn't know that it has happened.
Professor Oloyede says the board is ensuring Nigerians have confidence in the examination system.
We have not found one case of extortion, and that's very, very gladdening to us because our purpose is to ensure that candidates have confidence in the system, that when you say this is it, it should be. So, and that will increase their confidence not only in JAMB but also in the country, in the leadership. They will believe that, oh, our leaders, when they tell us that this is it, it will be so.
There is compliance with the guidelines stipulated by JAMB in most centers visited. Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
All is now set for the FIFA Club World Cup 2022 in Morocco. Austin Edemodu has the situation report from Rabat, Morocco. And that concludes Nationwide. We thank you for watching. Bye for now.